This is something I just kind of repeat all the time, but it is what will help you make the most progress on EB-1A profile building. It is to get into the habit of continually reaching out to top professionals in your field, especially professionals who are already highly involved in your field. Because when you're first starting off with EB-1A profile building, you might be a top professional. You might have risen to the top of your field, but for a lot of top professionals, especially say software engineers, you're not really used to speaking at conferences. You're not really used to giving workshop presentations. Definitely not used to peer reviewing, and definitely not used to writing research papers. So a lot of these activities are going to be very new to you. And the way, at least in my view, the way to quickly develop an understanding of how to do these activities is to talk to the people who have already done these activities. These could be fellow profile builders. So that's something that kind of happens within my private group, within my newsletter. People are talking to other people who have done certain activities, and they're everyone's sharing insights on how they're doing certain activities. That is something that you definitely want to be looking for when you're profile building for EB-1A. Other profile builders who can give you insights into activities they're doing, but not just profile builders. You can also focus on people who have done these activities, who have some sort of common connection with you. They could be alumni of companies you worked at, or even university alumni, or just mutual connections. Ask these people about how they started to do these activities, how they say started speaking at top conferences, how they started giving workshops at top conferences, how they started to get involved in research. Because without that contextual knowledge, it's going to be quite hard for you to even identify the different ways to get involved in your field because there's just so many. You want to be talking to people who already have an understanding of the landscape, have an understanding of what kinds of organizations to go for, what kinds of conferences to look at, who maybe to even contact to start doing research. Maybe they have specific research contacts they can share with you. So that's just something to keep in mind when profile building for EB-1A. To continually do outreach, because that is how you get a much better understanding of how to go about profile building for your specific field, especially if you get in touch with top professionals who have already been building up the profile either for EB-1A or just are highly involved in the field because they're interested in showcasing and sharing their expertise. So that's just something I can't really repeat enough times because it is honestly what makes the most difference in profile building. And just to give you a very practical example, I probably get this question every single week: how to find peer review opportunities. And one answer I've come across is email a ton of people who recently published and in say an IEEE journal, and you can find these people in IEEE Explorer. So look for these people, look for their emails and LinkedIn's, and just reach out to them. Say, I saw this paper you wrote, maybe some comments about the paper, and then talk about a bit about your background and how you can help, and see if you can get peer review opportunities from either them because maybe they're working on papers right now, or they know people who are working on papers that you can help review. And I'm not saying reach out to like 2 to 3 of these people. I'm saying reach out to 50 to 100 of these people and see if you can find peer review opportunities that way. The other way is to reach out to people in leadership positions at top conferences, especially research focused conferences in your field. Reach out to these people. Again, use the same format I just described when reaching out. And then that's how you firstly build a relationship with them, have a conversation, and then show how you can help them. How can you help their conference? How can you help their organization? And then ask if there are opportunities for you to help by peer reviewing or even by speaking. So yeah, that's why I can't really emphasize outreach enough. And that is just a practical example of how outreach can be powerful. because say you reach out to 50 to 100 people and 5 respond. That's potentially already 5 peer review opportunities. And with 5 peer review opportunities, you already have made significant progress towards the judge role criterion. And that can happen in a matter of 2-3 weeks, assuming you do outreach properly. And I talk about outreach extensively in my newsletter with a lot of articles shared on how to do outreach with specific examples. So that is something you really want to nail down. I think it's more important than having, say, some sort of in-depth understanding of the criteria or knowing every single little nuance with like someone's case and how they got EB-1A. Because for your specific case, outreach, it's just doing the outreach that is important. Stop relying on conceptual understandings of EB-1A, thinking that that in itself will strengthen your case. Without putting things into action, you will not be able to build a strong profile, regardless of how many courses you attend or people you talk to about this and that way to strengthen your profile. None of that matters if you don't do anything about it. In fact, lean more towards doing things than consuming a ton of content and not doing anything. Consume a bit, then go do a lot, and then repeat, review. Yeah, that's why outreach is so important.